Greetings, Commanders, and welcome back to the Deep Space Carrier series here in Elite Dangerous. We are going to be in the Asp Explorer this week, a true explorer, which is different from the other vessels that we've been doing recently, because, you know, we're just cycling through the vessels in our fleet carrier. The purpose of the journey is to go out to Colonia first, and then eventually out in the deep space, just to take our fleet carrier out in the black and have some fun. So before we get too far messing around with this stuff, we are currently located in Scout JTU B34-5, and we're just going to kind of explore around the fleet carrier within, 10 or 15 jumps as the Explorer flies. So let's see, how far is that? 18 jumps? That's too many. I don't want to have to do 18 jumps back. We'll go like right here, and let's see what that does. Pick a star. That's better. All right. So let's go ahead and get on our way. We're going to be doing exobiology-related activities in addition to any other exploring that we might want to get done. As always, I forgot to bring up the Elite Observatory to make it so that it will help us find really cool stuff along the way. But fortunately, I remembered it now, so ideally, we'll be able to find things really cool in the next system that we find. Generally try to stay within, 10 or so jumps, depending on what ship that we're in, so that we don't have to take a long time getting back to the carrier when we're done. I typically finish up my week by heading back to the carrier so that we can participate, so we can be there for our carrier reposition live stream every Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific. Before we get too far into the video, I'd like to ask you to help us to reach our next major channel milestone of 10,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button. The number does not go up unless you press the button, so be sure to actually press it before you head out. Hit the like button to share the video with more people so that they have a chance to watch as well. And then we have more than 1,700 videos now on the channel available for your perusal. I play a bunch of different games, and they're organized in a nice, neat little playlist to help you find whatever it is that you're looking for, from action to RPGs to all different kinds of stuff. So be sure to go check out the channel and find something that you're interested in. Right. Does not look like we're going to find anything in this system. But fortunately, the Asp Explorer does fuel scoop very well, so shouldn't be too much of an issue now. Oh, you know what? I do need to go back into the galaxy map and reset our filter, because the last ship that we were flying had fuel quantity issues, and yeah, definitely didn't want to run out of fuel. But now we have this one, and we can afford to be a little bit more liberal with our traveling. So open up our filter a little bit to give us more chances to find different kinds of stuff by changing the different kinds of stars that we're going for. But as always, as I say every time, we're primarily focused on exobiology, so finding plants and all different kinds of stuff on surfaces. So ideally we're going to find something like that. My volume on the game is a little bit loud. Let me turn that down. I don't think it's coming through on on the microphone and your audio here, but who knows. So yeah, I just, as of the recording that I'm doing right now, we just finished our carrier reposition live stream for the week. So we are in a brand new week, a brand new ship for, regarding, cycling through our ships. We're in a new ship as compared to last week. And, slightly new adventure in a slightly different area. Helps to relieve the boredom when you have different ships to fly. Let's see. So it's all icy bodies here, but I'm not necessarily trying to be as picky as I used to be when it comes to actually stopping and scanning for things, because realistically, we need to make sure we're making a decent amount of money on these little excursions from the carrier, because we have $33 million or 33 million credits every week that we have to come up with to pay for that carrier. So kind of important to keep on top of that. I mean, I have, several months worth of credits stored up in the carrier, and that's in addition to the almost billion credits I think I now have. I think I'm almost up to 1 billion. We'll look at it in a second. I don't remember what my personal account balance is at the moment, but it's up there. It's like 700 and some odd. Oh yeah, I have 958 million, and there's 1 billion credits on the carrier. So I don't think we're really I don't think we really have much of an issue paying for the carrier for a while. But as I always say, rich people stay rich because they pretend like they're poor. Sort of. they have the mindset of being poor. They don't spend all their money assuming that it's going to be there. They figure out ways to make more money and spend as little as possible. All right, so we found something with a couple of geological things, but no biological. The point I'm trying to make is that rich people have money because they don't overspend their money. That's the thought process, anyways. Whatever. The only way we're going to hold on to our 1 billion plus credits and continue to grow that number is by just continuing to try to make as much money as we can. So that's the way that works. But yeah. Try to see what we can find as far as biological signatures. The Elite Observatory, as we're scanning things, should identify, hopefully, interesting things to go see, such as really closely orbiting moons. It would be really nice if we could find a super fast orbiting moon, like if we can go to it and land on it and experience that cool sensation of being flung around another body. That would be really interesting to do. But the odds of finding something like that are probably pretty small. I don't know. We'll see. The observatory will tell me if we find something like that, though. So, how did I get all turned around like that? That was weird. Okay. But yeah, hopefully pretty soon we will find ourselves an exobiology signature and be able to go down and find something cool. A couple of episodes ago, or maybe it was the last episode, I didn't actually record weekend episodes this week because my recording schedule just kind of really got jacked up due to some personal things that were going on, and I just wasn't able to recover from it. So yeah, I missed a couple of episodes this week, but hopefully we can get back on target. Hopefully we can get back on target from now on. Let's see. But as I think the very last episode that I posted a couple of days ago had some different kind of stratum, a kind of stratum that I've never seen before, and to me it looked kind of like dog poop. So I'm calling it dog poop stratum. Stratum feces. Stratum faecius? I don't know. I don't know what a Latin sounding version of that would be. Okay. Stratum infecius? I don't know. It just looked like dog. Oh, we got a biological. Ooh. All right, we'll go scan that. If it's bacteria, we're not going to bother to go down and look at it, but I'm trying, like I said, I'm trying to be a little bit less picky. Oh, wait, we weren't done yet. I thought we were done. I'm trying to be a little bit less picky in what I go to scan, because you never know, it might end up being stratum tectonicus, and if it is, then we could end up making 90 million credits. So let's make our way over there. We will scan this dude here. It's probably almost certainly going to be bacteria, but if it's not, and it ends up being stratum, we have a really good chance of making a pretty decent payday on the first episode of the week. Pay our dues for several weeks with that. But even if not, even if we have to wait for another planet that has like 3 or 4 on it, then it is what it is. Excuse me. But I'm pretty sure it did say high metal content, right? It wasn't an icy body. Well, we're here now, so we might as well scan it. Yeah, high metal content, pretty sure. 6 probes. I'm going to do 4, because I believe with the extended probe rate... Oh, but I don't know if this one has the... I don't know if this one has the same radius as the other ones that I have, because I didn't take my maxed out one off, because I had a couple of probe scanners that were engineered pretty decently, and one of them was on this guy and the other one was on my... Okay, looks like it was good. So it ended up being bacterium, which is exactly what I kind of expected it to be, but you never know. Okay, so we'll hop off into the next system and hopefully find something over there. But yeah, I was saying I have several detailed surface scanners that I've engineered to have increased probe radii. And the best one I had on my primary exploration ship, my Phantom, and the other one I had on this guy as my backup. And I think I might have one more on my Diamondback Explorer, but I might have taken that one off, and that's the one I've been shuffling around to. That's the one I've been shuffling around to other ships. to make sure that they have one.
Fuel scooping. System scan complete.
All right, only 3 bodies in this system, so unfortunately, we're not going to be able to scan anything here.
Fuel scooping complete.
Finish up our fuel scooping, get charged up, and start head off to the next system. We're already halfway to our destination, which is, well, I mean, I was going to say which is good because we're halfway through the video, but not really. Not really halfway through the video. We'll see. All right, come on, roll the dice, roll the dice. Give us something cool. Give us something cool. These first videos, this first video I do right after a live stream tends to be a little bit more difficult for me because I've basically talked about everything I'm going to talk about. Because I try to go throughout the week and write down topics to cover during the live stream to make it a little bit interesting. Because there's nothing for us to really do other than just wait for the carrier to make its jumps. I mostly go there to just do kind of like a hangout environment kind of thing on the carrier. And, you know, so we're not doing anything. It's mostly just me sitting there talking for an hour while we wait for the carrier to charge up and do its jumps and all that kind of cool stuff. But the issue with that is that by the time I get to the end of the live stream and I've talked about all the things I'm going to talk about, I'm kind of talked out at that point. And then having to I kind of have to maintain the timeline of things. I kind of have to wait to record my Monday episodes until right after that live stream so that what I'm recording happens in the timeline of things that actually happened. Because if I record an episode, I typically record an episode and publish it the next day. That's how I give early access to my channel members. That's how I make sure they get early, at least a little bit of early access for that. So it means that when I record a video, I publish it the next day. But if I record the video before my live stream, then the thing that publishes on my Monday will be something that happened before our carrier reposition, but will publish after the live stream. So it doesn't work out. It just does not work out trying to do it that way. So to make sure that everything is published and everybody views everything in the order in which it actually happened, I have to do a video right after my live streams so that I can make sure I have a video that publishes on Monday, but it's not out of order. I know it took me forever to say that because I got way too into the weeds explaining it, but I am trying to fill time, so sorry. Explaining things ad nauseum does tend to fill up the silence, and I believe for most people, they don't want to just sit here staring at me, staring at the screen, playing a game, especially when there's nothing super crazy interesting happening, like fighting somebody or doing something super visually interesting, like blowing up asteroids or something. So I gotta fill the time somehow. It's the way that it works. It's the way that it works. But yeah. I'm still just trying to find... Alright, so we got 11 bodies here. Maybe we'll get lucky and finally find some kind of serious biological source. That would be nice. But it's all icy bodies, so realistically, if we do find some kind of a biological source... Excuse me. If we do find some kind of a biological source... How far are these? That's too far away anyways. I'm not even going to waste my time on that. That's 300,000 light seconds away. Even with the Super Cruise Overdrive, that's just way, way too far away. I think my new rule with the Super Cruise Overdrive as far as how far I'm willing to go to a body, I think the new rule I have is going to be something like 50,000 light seconds or something like that. Anything past that just really isn't worth the fuel and time it's going to take. Well, I mean, I guess fuel isn't necessarily that much of an issue depending on what we're flying. But the amount of time it's going to take and the amount of frustration trying to hold the course and all that stuff, I'm only willing to do that so much, and I'm only willing to spend so much time to do that stuff. It does seem like we had 2 stars that were right next to each other. We got 23 bodies in this system here. I want to fling myself back around just so I can see. All right, so there's another star there. There's a star there, and then I feel like we flung past another one, but I mean, I guess I could look down at the radar there, and it would actually tell me. So we have that one there, and then it says there's another one. I guess it's that one there, but then there's supposed to be another one over there. So we got a lot of stars in this system. icy bodies, got a couple of high metal content worlds, and they're relatively close, it looks like. So let's, we got some geological. It's usually, I find it's usually a good sign when you see geological activity very quickly in a system, because a lot of times geology ends up, in my experience, geology ends up indicating that there's going to be some biology there too, just because it's, you know, geology means highly active planets, and highly active planets give you a much higher chance of life spawning. So, unfortunately, that did not turn out to be the case with this particular system, but we'll finish doing our scans anyway, because so we got one biological source, but for an icy planet, I'm not wasting my time going over to scan a single biology. If we find one that has 2 on it, then at least we'll get some fonticula out of it. But I'm not wasting my time for just some bacteria. It's not worth the time it's going to take us to fly over there and do that. And we're still early enough in the episode that I'd like to roll the dice and take my chances on hopefully finding something somewhere else if we can't find something decent here. So yeah, single biology. I've said many times that this game does take the panspermia approach to life, so that if you find life in a plant in an area, it's usually all the same stuff, and it's usually right around the same area. So you'll have like one planetary system or moon system or whatever the word is for, you know, a conglomerated group of bodies right next to each other. You'll usually the life will usually be concentrated in one of those areas, and it will usually be the same kind of life right in that little area. So it's like somebody dropped a biological sludge on one of the planets, and it sprayed out to the other bodies nearby, if that ended up happening. That seems to be the way that they kind of handle life in this game, but I don't know. That's just my experience after, I don't know, probably a couple hundred episodes of this, or over 100 episodes of exploration so far, in addition to the other explorations that I've done. I hesitate to call myself an expert, but I feel pretty seasoned in the whole exploration thing. At least exobiology, anyway. Some of the I haven't really spent too much time doing a lot of the other stuff, such as trying to find, you know, specific things out in space and stuff like that. I spent a lot of time doing exobiology. I did a lot of planetary. I've done a lot of planetary scanning, surface scanning, and all that kind of stuff. Mostly because before exobiology became a thing, planetary scanning was one of the not necessarily most lucrative ways of making money, but it was one of the most consistent ways of making decent money. Scanning water worlds and ammonia worlds and Earth-like worlds was like the thing to do for exploration. Alright, well, we've made it to our destination, and unfortunately, we did not find any kind of exobiology-related activity, so we're going to try again. We're going to head off in this direction here, and as long as I stay relatively close to the carrier, I'm not worried about how many jumps it takes us to get to where we're going. I just want to make sure we're trying to stay... Yeah. We want to make sure we're trying to stay within a 10 or so jump radius, right around a 10 jump radius of the carrier. So that way, if for whatever reason we need to hurry up and get back, or we get to the end of the week and I'm ready to head back to the carrier, it doesn't take us forever to do it. 20 jumps isn't that long, but you just saw we did 10 jumps in the space of about 20 minutes. So I'd rather not have to do it on my own time, basically, because I have other things to get done. All right, come on. All right, rolling the dice yet again to see if the Galactic Lottery will provide us with what we need. All right, looking good. 12, low, anywhere in the teens is just, it gives me that feeling of, hey, we might actually have a chance on this one. I don't know. Well, no. Is it icy bodies? Or it says rocky bodies, so we'll see. No, they're all icy bodies. That is super lame, but we'll check them out anyways. If we can get some fonticula, that won't go. That would not be amiss. That would not go amiss. How does he say that saying? I haven't used it I haven't read it or used it in a long time. I'm not sure why it popped into my head just now, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, we didn't find anything, so it's off to the next one. I'm wondering. I'm sort of kind of looking forward to the Mandalay coming out because we'll obviously be adding that to our rotation of things to do. And depending on how much better of an explorer it is than maybe some of the other ships we have in our arsenal, it may end up becoming a sort of semi-permanent ship that we use. Like if it significantly makes doing the things that we're doing easier, if it makes it easier to the point that it's a noticeable difference from everything else that we fly, even the typically good exploration ships that we have, then I might just fly the Mandalay around, because for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, as much as I hate that ugly, stupid bottom that they put on it, I'm a big fan of the Mamba, and it uses the Mamba cockpit, which is, that will be fun. But then also, we got a water world here. Sweet. We'll go scan. We'll definitely be sure to go scan that. But also, it's just a kind of a cool-looking ship, and I wouldn't mind flying it around. It's a cool-looking ship from the top, and I wouldn't mind flying it around. And I'm kind of interested to see how the supposed improved maneuverability is for the ship. And I think I said it before in a previous video, but I'm very interested to see if it's something where the improved maneuverability is only in an atmosphere, or if it's just anytime you're on thrusters you get it's just super highly maneuverable because it has wings or whatever. I don't know. I'd be interested to see if that ends up being something where the wings make a difference, because they were making a big deal about how it's highly maneuverable in an atmosphere, it's highly maneuverable in a planet, but is it anytime you're on thrusters, or is it anytime you're on a body, or is it solely whenever you're in an atmosphere? Like, that's the question I have. But unfortunately, it does not appear that we are going to be particularly lucky. And here we go. As soon as I started saying that, we finally got 2 biological source planets. So that's good. We got a couple of them. So, I don't know. Oh, here we go. So I'm not expecting to find any biology over here because, like I said before, usually they're all concentrated together, and if you find one biology and there's a bunch over there, it's usually just over in that spot. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll quickly get over here. We don't really have time to do both planets, and realistically, because it's Fonticula, I don't really know that I'm going to worry too much about that. We're looking at about 100 C, so that should get us down to 7 seconds or around that. Hold on, let me focus on this for a second. I forgot what I was talking about. We'll go. We don't have enough time to do both planets in this episode, and the reality is that by the time we get to the next episode, when I do my recordings tomorrow, I'm probably either going to forget that they were there, or I'm not going to be motivated enough to go get it, and I'm going to be too hopeful to finding other things to bother going to find the other set of things. So we'll get this set here. That'll be pretty decent for the end of this episode, and then if I feel like it tomorrow, we'll go grab the other set of Fonticula and then move on to the rest of the stuff. Otherwise, we'll just take off and head off into the next destination. It is what it is. I'm not a completionist kind of person, so a lot of times I'll bypass things of value because they just don't feel like they're worth my time to mess with it. It's just the way I work. So we'll get close enough to do the scan for this guy, get the information. It's almost certainly going to be bacteria and Fonticula, because that's almost always what it is on a 2 biological source icy body. I'm gonna do one probe. Just I'm in the middle of testing out the limits of my probe radii here, because if I can do, it's nice to be able to just minimize the things that you have to do. Whatever. So I'm hoping that that's going to finish it off. All right, so we're never going to be able to do a single probe on these, but that's all right. I just wanted to test it out. So it's 2, 4, 6, 7, and 8, I think, are the potential probe efficiency targets that you're going to be trying to go after. Doesn't seem like we're ever going to be able to do it with just one. So yeah, bacteria and Fonticula, as expected, is exactly what we ended up seeing on this body. The other body is almost like 99.9% sure to have the same exact stuff on it. So from a visual interesting standpoint, there's no point in heading over to that other one. because it's just going to be the exact same thing that we're seeing here. And from a monetary standpoint, Fontigula doesn't really pay that much. I mean, the first footfall bonus obviously helps out quite a lot, but even still, it's like, I don't know that I want to waste the time going over there to do that. So we'll play it by ear. Tomorrow morning, or tomorrow in afternoon when I sit down and do my recordings, I'll make my decision. By the time this video publishes, we will have already recorded that one and the decision will be made. So you can feel free to leave a comment if you want about that, but the video will already be uploaded to the channel by the time you do. It's the only thing that kind of sucks about posting videos in advance is it makes communication and making changes to people's suggestions and comments and stuff difficult and almost impossible to adjust to in real time, because by the time by the time they've left a comment, I've already recorded at least one video, if not two, or more, depending on how late they got to the video. Okay, but ideally we should see some space mushrooms down here, right there. Matter of fact, we'll just, since I overshot a little bit, we'll head over to this guy here. But the problem is, crap. This ship, you exit from the rear, so I'm hoping I can kind of come right here. I should have just stopped where I was. Alright. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I forgot that on this ship you exit from the rear, because they can't just have all ships exit the same way. What did I have in there? I must have gave up on a sample or something. I don't remember. It's been a few days since I last recorded an episode, so I don't remember what the deal was for that. Fonticula campestris amethyst. We found a million of these, so there's nothing particularly interesting about what we're finding here. It's money in the bank. Okay, so this is probably still too close. Let's find the next patch over. This is probably good. I have to say, the thrusters on this are not impressing me very much. I wonder if I put I wonder if I have the underpowered thrusters on this guy. Oh man, we overshot this a lot. I don't recall what my philosophy was when I put this ship together. I want to say I recently repurchased it and equipped it with whatever it was that I had. And I thought I put the max... I thought I put all the max thrusters that I can get, because I've gotten to the point now where I'm willing to sacrifice a couple of light years for upgraded thrusters to make sure that we have, you know, a responsive spacecraft. But what size thrusters do we have? Thrusters 5A. I'm pretty sure 5A is as big as what we can get on this. So I just feel like it's super sluggish from what I feel like a medium ship with max power thrusters should be. Like I'm full reverse thrust here, and we're still like slinging past it. If I could find the... There we go. All right, we'll grab this. And then we're going to go ahead and call it a day. I may grab those bacteria on my time, but we're out of time for the video. So hopefully you guys had fun. Click the like button if you did to let the algorithm know so it'll share with other people and they can watch. Subscribe to the channel to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. The next major channel milestone that we're looking for. Join as a member if you'd like to support our work. And you'll get early access to videos among other perks, or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. So again, thank you very much for joining us for this episode of the Deep Space Carrier series here in Elite Dangerous. Be sure to come back for the next installment of our adventure and exploration, and I'll see you then.